Hey there. This video's purpose is to assist you in matching the correct competency to the correct type of scaffolding solution. Let's use an everyday example: cars versus aeroplanes. To understand the rest of this discussion about scaffolding and applicable standards, assume that both cars and aeroplanes are manufactured from aluminium.
The minimum competencies required to pilot an airplane are a valid pilot's license and an airworthy certificate issued by the Civil Aviation Authority. Insurance companies will only cover claims if these two requirements are met and an incident occurs at situations where air transport legislation were adhered to. For light motor vehicles, a valid driver's license and a roadworthy certificate are required, and claims will only be considered when an incident occurs within the ambit of road traffic legislation. A person with a valid driver's license will not be allowed to pilot an airplane, and in the same sense, a person with only a pilot's license cannot lawfully drive a light motor vehicle. Construction and industrial premises are subject to all applicable safety laws, regulations, and standards. Unsing the right equipment and applicable competencies are crucial instruments in mitigating liability risks. In the screen behind me are two aluminium towers. One is SANS51004 Compliant and the other is SANS10085 Compliant. The question is, how do we determine which tower conforms to which standard? In addition to this question, what competence is required to erect, inspect, move, and use which tower?
SANS51004 requires 3 documents to confirm that it is a tower that has been engineered, tested, and certified to comply with the standard. The first document is a Strength and Stability Certificate. This document details safe working loads and all technical data as the standard requires. The second document is issued by an independent, authorized inspection agency such as TÜV. The certificate has a reference number that can be verified against the agency's database. Finally, an instruction manual issued by the manufacturer must be issued for every tower, forming part of the deliverables that must accompany every tower. This manual must conform to EN 1298, a standard that prescribes such manuals' minimum content. Without these documents, a tower is deemed non-conformant to SANS51004. In such cases, the guidelines prescribed in SANS 185 are applicable. It would be advisable to consult with the supplier of such equipment and SANS 1085 to determine what competencies are required to use this type of scaffolding. Verification of the documents claiming any tower is SANS51004 compliant is crucial. Self-assessment-based certificates are not acceptable. Would you purchase a vehicle if the previous owner issues his or her own roadworthy certificate or produces a falsified one? Please ask for formal and valid certificates and verify their status with the Independent Inspection Authority.
There are 3 types of competence training available in South Africa. The first type is user training, which involves instruction by the tower supplier using the factory instruction manual. This type of competence is only valid for a specific model manufactured by the supplier of the user instruction manual. Training approved by the South African Qualifications Authority is a more formal option. With this competency, a user may erect, move, dismantle, and inspect any tower brand, provided it is SANS51004 compliant. Please note that this qualification is only accepted in South Africa. The Institute for Working at Heights, or IWH, as known in the industry, will provide you with the latest updates on acceptable training courses and licensed training providers. Founded in 1974, the Prefabricated Access Suppliers and Manufacturers Association, PASMA, is the recognized focus and authority for mobile access towers. PASMA advances safety standards and best practices across a wide range of sectors and represents the interests of its members in the UK, Europe, South Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. The training offered by this organization is recognized in most countries, including South Africa. A PASMA qualification can be converted to a SACA qualification by the Institute for Working at Heights. PASMA offers a range of training packages, from basic user training to advanced technical competence training. Please consult your SANS 10085 compliant equipment supplier to verify which qualifications and procedures apply to scaffolds and towers. Getting back to our light motor vehicle and aeroplane example, these competencies are only applicable to towers certified as SANS 51004 compliant. It is not valid when the tower or scaffold is SANS 10085 compliant.
So what are the key points we discussed in this video? Firstly, SANS51004 Compliant Towers are the only equipment for which user SACRA approved training or a PASMA qualification would constitute competence, as described in the standard. Any scaffold or tower not verified as SANS51004 compliant must be supplied per the SANS 1085 methods and competencies. Deviations from these safety standards can lead to legal proceedings against the perpetrators and expose the accountable officer and delegated officials to severe penalties. Public liability is the most considerable organizational risk when deviating from the standards and could expose workers to avoidable risks. Little Giant Ladders and Towers LGLT specializes in providing compliant equipment and is a registered supplier of PASMA training. LGLT is also a PASMA registered rental dealer, where the sustainable compliance of our equipment is closely monitored and audited according to global best practices. Whatever LGLT claims is supported by legal, verifiable documentation and databases, where validation is simple and effective. As a customer, you must choose between cheap, non-compliant options with embedded high risks and a marginally more expensive option with exceptionally low risks. Our mantra is more than access. It's a standard. This mantra is also known as the LGLT way, and every member of our team strives to continuously achieve this standard in every activity we perform. I trust you found this talk informative, and I want to thank you for investing the time with me and my team. Please do not hesitate to contact us for more details or to engage in deeper discussions. Stay safe and take care.